Welcome to Cambodia Business Week with your host Anthony Galliano here on Radio 1 FM 103.7.
Good morning, Cambodia. It's 4 minutes after the hour, and today another exciting show. We're going to talk about fashion, art, design, and Cambodia's homegrown son, the one and only RIEM is here. Oh, man, am I excited. Good morning, RIEM.
Good morning.
This is crazy because we're a business show, and we're going to talk the fashion business today. First time.
Oh, my God.
And we have Cambodia's homegrown son, right?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And then we'll talk a bit about travel after that. We'll have a half and half show. So we're gonna focus on the business of fashion first, and then the business of travel afterwards. But before we start, if I could get in a moment, I wanted to just briefly talk about an upcoming event that is being held by Eurocham Cambodia. You like tax, RIEM?
No, I don't like.
But you like to learn about it, right? So
Sure.
yeah, okay. Well, that's taxes are unfortunately something we all have to deal with, right?
Yeah.
So Eurocham Cambodia is holding a tax forum
Yeah.
because tax is becoming a pretty big important subject for everybody, right?
Yes.
Because it's becoming stricter enforcement, a lot of new regulations, and it's worth, as a business owner, to know about these things, right? So Eurocham Cambodia is holding a tax forum. I happen to be the chairman of the Eurocham Tax Committee, so I have to do a lot of work to get this done. Of course, with our Eurocham Advocacy Committee and our Eurocham management, putting together a great event, which His Excellency Kang Vaibol will open for us and have a speech, which is great to have him join us. And then we have a huge amount of people in the industry doing presentations and also doing panel discussions. So it'll be Deloitte, it'll be DFDL, it'll be Boone and Associates, EY, you name it, they're all going to be there and giving their guidance on tax.
Okay.
So the event is on September 21st. It's going to be at the Intercontinental. It's $50. You have to pay the bills, right?
Good.
Includes lunch.
Yeah.
And there's a network event after. So if you want to continue talking about tax or other things, you can have a couple of glasses of wine.
Yeah.
And that's just another $10. So we'll look like we'll probably do something next week or the week after with people on the tax that will be contributing to this important tax forum. And we'll try to get some people on the show. It's a little bit rushed, but we'll try to do it. Okay, well, let's get down to the business of fashion. So first, good morning again.
Good morning again.
Okay, we know you're Cambodian.
Yeah.
So
my English so slow. So sorry.
Well, this is going to be interesting because my New York accent. That's just
Design, interior design, fashion design product. So.
And you're very you're careful about this because you actually don't sell your fashion.
Oh yes, everybody want to buy my dress, and then I say, like, I am artist. Like you, I don't know. You have a lot of business, so I just have one business, painting and sculpture, and then I will to try.
But RIEM, your business is a much more fun than mine. Is tax fun? Accounting fun? No. But anyway, you're having a lot of fun doing what you do, right?
Yes, I want to make something fun for me. Like, I want to create something fun and interesting.
Now, why don't you sell your design?
Like I said to you, I am artist, painting and sculpture. So, I don't want to have another shop like a dress shop because the fashion so come like 1 minute around the world, so a lot of competition. So
but there's not a lot of Cambodian designers. I mean, you're in a great little niche because we don't really have. Do we have Cambodian designers?
Cambodia now a lot of fashion shop from Western like Mango, Asara, Pedro. So the Cambodian people will like something from another way.
Okay, we take a quick break. I want to get your breath, and then we'll come back and we'll have a second segment. So you're listening to. We have the famous RIEM on this morning, talking about fashion design, artiste, And we'll return back, and we're going to take a quick song break so he catches his breath and we can talk a bit more.
We speak to the movers and shakers of the business world. So when it comes to business in Cambodia, look no further than the Cambodia Business Week on Radio 1 FM 103.7. Welcome to Cambodia Business Week with your host Anthony Galliano here on Radio 1 FM 103.7.
22 minutes after the hour. Good morning again, Cambodia. We are here with RIEM, fashion icon, Cambodia's own homegrown son, who I would think almost started the fashion industry in Cambodia. Is that almost fair to say, RIEM? Can't take credit.
Sorry.
Take credit for starting the fashion industry in Cambodia.
Yeah, so crazy because, like I said to you, why my dress not for sale? Because the Cambodian people like a lot of something from another country. So some product made in Cambodia, it's so difficult to sell.
Right. So what is, if I may ask you, what's in fashion now in Cambodia? Fashion, we had we had a fashion designer on before, and basically it was colors and not wearing socks, and it was our favorite friend from Colorblind, right?
Yeah.
So he had some great insights into what's happening in the fashion industry.
Mm-hmm.
What's fashionable now?
Fashion Cambodia now, like I am fashion designer, but I don't know how to cut dress, so I make something crazy for the shooting. And then the Cambodian people growing now, we have fashion design week, fashion designer week. Now we have even 2 times per year. So this agency invite all designer, like Western designer, but stay in Cambodia to fashion show one place. So this is.
So what are women wearing now that you would consider to be current fashion?
Oh yes, women wear the dress now because I have a lot of friend girl modeling.
Right.
So they buy, like I say to you, they buy a lot of dress from Bangkok, from another country.
What's in? I mean, is it short dresses, long dresses?
Okay. Make depend of
the women they're going to listen to you here. You have women listening. They're going to say, "What should I wear tonight?" What would you suggest they wear tonight?
Like I say, depend on your goal to where you wish to go, like cocktail, like meeting, wedding dress, glamour dress. So like.
Are any particular colors, lengths,
the color,
sleeves, no sleeves? What's hot?
The color is the best color. Is for me just the black.
Black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because black can go anywhere, like working, like party.
Now, in Cambodia, because it's a warmer climate, there's a lot more skin shown, I guess, than in a colder climate. Is it better to be more conservative when you dress as a woman, or is it better to be more sexy?
Oh yes, more sexy, but Cambodia, Cambodia is country a little bit more traditional. So if you put more sexy, not good.
So be more conservative. Does that make women more mysterious and?
More.
So show less skin and be more conservative.
Yeah. I am also designer, so when I create something very sexy, and the people critique a lot of my work. So sometimes this is the part of my artwork. I try to explain this is this is to show the dress, not the shows of model.
Right. And what about shoes? What kind of shoes are in?
Oh,
big heels, small heels.
high heel.
You like high heel. You like.
Yeah.
I see you.
Yeah,
you like
I
to,
like high heel.
You like
you
to
know.
wear them yourself, right?
I like high heel, because like I'm fashion designer, I want to try myself first. So it's because the high heel of I made it in Cambodia.
Is it hard to wear? I mean, I see you in pictures wearing these
Yes.
huge high heels. Is it hard to wear high heels as a man?
Fall down sometimes. So
Would
this
you
is-
recommend other men wear high heels? Is it a fashion statement that men can make?
Yeah, why not now in Europe? It's very popular with the catwalk, the man catwalk with the high heel.
Okay.
And after just because when you fashion show, just to show.
Right. I mean, fashion shows have to be a bit extreme, right? And and this goes to my point about your fashion. It's a bit extreme. I mean, it's obviously something that you wouldn't wear every day, right?
no, not
because you
my
have
dress
these.
is not for wearing.
Right.
Like I said, for photo art, photo fashion, and we can sell the photo.
So it's really photo fashion,
Yeah,
not everyday
yeah,
wear.
Yeah, yeah.
And where do you come up with these incredible ideas? Because I think I've seen you, it's sort of a gender boundary, I think, to some extent, because you like to wear a dress and heels, and also the Khmer traditional wear,
The crown, yeah.
which I mean, for fashion photography is fantastic. So
Sure.
where do you come up with these ideas? They sort of come in your sleep, or how do you come up with these wonderful ideas?
Yeah, like I said to you before, it's the fashion made in Cambodia, the people not very interesting. So I want to create something for sell my dress, but another way, like photo. I can sell the photo fashion, like 10 exemplar.
Right.
It's beautiful photo, like very expensive.
It's really a
you know.
visual fashion for you then.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not a wearing fashion, it's a visual fashion.
Yeah.
Right. And I just want to sort of apologize. So Jean-Benoit Lasseline
Yeah.
from Colorblind. We said our famous friend from Colorblind, but
yeah.
Jean-Benoit Lasseline was on here, I think, about a year ago.
Yeah.
So give him his credit of his name, of course. Great fashion designer, fantastic fashion designer. You guys work together at all?
Sometimes I'm modeling for him, for
Okay.
his brand.
Right. Now,
Like-
getting back to these sort of extreme fashion pictures. You said Cambodia is quite conservative. How does your family and friends, from Kandel, where you grew up, how do they sort of view your work? Do you have to explain this to your family? When you're wearing high heels and a dress, you say, "Mom," or
Yes,
"Dad."
because like my family, I saw you on TV, high heel, you fall down. Yeah, this is just the show. Don't understand.
And you're dressed very conservatively today, right?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
wearing an American baseball cap and. No,
On the day, I'm like.
I was hoping you'd come in your dress and high heels.
On the day, I like the tuk-tuk guy. I'm a tuk-tuk guy,
No. All right,
Just another style.
No.
And with the old car, so.
you have a wonderful. That's a fashion statement. That Jeep you're driving is a fashion statement. Let's talk about your paintings, because this is really what you're focusing on
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
more,
I'm
right? I
focused.
mean, incredible. The question is, where's your studio? If people want to come in and buy.
Okay. My studio is number 13D on Street 178, just front of another side of Sisavat High School.
Okay. And how would you describe your painting style?
My painting style so dramatic, not so happy, Like I'm growing in Cameroon, so some part of my history of my country, some part of my creativity. Yes, and also I am artist, so I inspire like my life. I'm growing in Cameroon, like I'm living with the buffalo, with the rabbit, and I draw something like I'm living before.
So it's Khmer, very
Yeah.
traditional Khmer.
Yeah,
And how
yeah.
long have you been doing this as a commercial activity, that you actually sell paintings?
Like more than 10 years.
Okay. And is it good business for you?
Yeah, good business for me because my gallery I think is the number one in Phnom Penh, because still like NGO cafe gallery, restaurant gallery. So my gallery is the real gallery. Everybody can go to visit, can use toilet. So,
So-
like a public
So
place, you know.
it's
It's
a
the
museum.
real gallery.
How do you spend your time? I mean, you have the modeling, the design, the painting, and your pretty exciting life, nightlife as a socialite.
This is
So-
the.
How do you spend your time?
I spend my time like
You get up in the morning and paint.
get up at the morning early, like 6 o'clock, because I have a kid, so prepare for go to school, bring kid to school, after go to work. I work on the morning with
Right.
painting, sculpture, and afternoon go to gallery because my gallery open every afternoon. So afternoon can work in gallery like design, drawing, some skate in computer or in paper. So like furniture, fashion. So get idea from website.
So we're gonna wind down soon. So I want a couple more questions, quick. So nightlife. You obviously as a model get
Oh, yes.
invited out of town
You
a
know.
lot. So what are your hot clubs and dining institutions?
Yeah. For my nightlife, so I will to have limit for stay with my friend.
You did a great job because you said you got home 3 o'clock last night and you were able to come on
because
the
it's last night's special night.
right.
Yeah.
If I would do that, I wouldn't make it to the show. So
Yeah, because I have some people from France, from Spain,
Right.
so want to stay more with them. So,
Right. So what are the places you go? But in Phnom Penh, what's
you
hot
know,
for you?
you know, it's every place the best for me.
What
but-
do you like now? I mean, what's currently trending for you that you like? If you get up and say you had a choice to go out tonight,
Yes.
where would you go tonight?
You know, when we go out, we must to calling the friend. Okay, eating in restaurant. After one drink, after go to disco.
Which
So-
disco do you go to?
Oh wow! So you know, in Cambodia now a lot of disco. So want to test.
Where were you last night? What disco?
Last night I'm go to Heart of Darkness.
Heart of Darkness.
Yes.
The old institution.
Yeah, because Heart of Darkness, you know, it is the old discotheque like 20 years ago in Phnom Penh. So everybody knows. So and then also Heart of Darkness, it the disco of everybody can go. Not select like dress up. You can go like every tourist can go with the flip flop with the t-shirt.
So you like that?
Did-
Do you get?
Good. Yeah, go because when we go to discotheque, not for the show, the dress, you know, like go to for fun and meeting friends. So I'm prepared to go
Okay.
to.
So
Heart of
my
Darkness.
last question, because we have 1 minute left.
Okay.
You staying extremely young looking. What's your secret to your staying youthful and being youthful and creative?
My secret. Still young, you know. You will to have time, like go to sleep, go out, have limit per week. Like a weekend can go out. So, and then.
Do a lot of
happy
exercise?
with- not. I had exercise, you know, because my work is like exercise, like bring a big painting and drawing every morning. So this is my exercise.
Okay, so congratulations on all you're doing. You have done a great job for the country, bringing the country into different industries. I really thank you for coming on the show and being
Thank you very much.
candid and humorous with me. I had a lot of fun today. So we'll be right back. We're going to talk about the travel industry in about 5 minutes. Thank you,
very
Marie.
much.
Thank you.
We speak to the movers and shakers of the business world. So when it comes to business in Cambodia, look no further than the Cambodia Business Week on Radio 1 FM 103.7. Welcome to Cambodia Business Week with your host Anthony Galliano here on Radio 1 FM 103.7.
Wow, got to catch my breath. That was a pretty interesting interview. One of our more humorous and candid interviews. It was great to have RIEM on. But we're going to move to a little bit more of the serious side, I guess. Back to business. And this morning we also have Pierre-André Romano from Exo Travel Cambodia. Good morning, Pierre.
Good morning.
You have a very interesting name, Pierre-André Romano. So a lot of heritage is there.
Mix heritage from Europe, France, Mediterranean origin. Very mixed.
Okay, so the travel industry is a very, or tourism as well, is a very important industry to Cambodia. And this is a very important subject because it's now the third largest industry after construction.
After garment and
construction sort of boomed up to the second, but travel has always been a pillar as the second. So the way things are going with the construction industry, may be back as the second soon.
Maybe.
But so let's talk about that in a minute. But first, where are you originally from?
I'm from France. I was born in France, and I live most of my life in France, except for 2 years in Singapore and the past 2 years in Cambodia.
Okay. And you actually, if I remember correctly, you majored in finance in school.
I majored both in finance and politics.
Politics?
Yeah, politics.
Wow. And which schools did you go to?
The Paris Institute for Political Science.
Right. Okay. So was politics an interest for you, or was
it is still, but it was an interest because when you study and when you're interested in politics, it's because you want to change the world. But I found out that maybe there's other ways to do it, so I didn't do it with politics. I was a bit disappointed by politics in France. So
I think most countries in the world, my own country in the U.S. is becoming a massive disappointment in politics at the moment. It's more like a mudslinging match than an educated debate. What was your? We always interested in what your first job was. Was this sort of gets your sort of formation of experiences, I guess, when you have your first job.
Well, my first job was to be a mathematics teacher.
A teacher?
Yeah, I teach mathematics at university for about 2 years.
What did you learn from that job? I mean, besides having a personality.
I love mathematics. Right. That's why.
Did your students love mathematics? Or
I didn't study mathematics. I studied at high school, but then I went to politics and finance. But I've always loved mathematics, so I like to and I love teaching. I'm always teaching. I even teach now here in Cambodia, and always teaching beside my main.
What type of mathematics? We're talking about basic, algebra, calculus.
The first 2 years at university, so it's a little bit more than basic, but both algebra.
It's a language in itself.
Yes.
When did you first realize you had a passion for the tourism industry and a passion for travel and adventure?
When I think my first real travel was when I was 16 or 17. I went with a friend of mine to Israel, and unfortunately this friend got sick after 2 days, so he had to stay in the hospital for the next 3 weeks.
So that's a commercial for travel insurance.
Yeah. I say unfortunately, but fortunately for me, because I discovered what is traveling alone, and I really loved it.
Oh, okay.
Really.
So this was a consequence of this. And you started traveling alone.
Yeah. When you travel with people, you're still a tourist. When you travel alone, you're more than a tourist. You meet a lot of people. You mix with the local people. It's very different.
Very interesting. So would you recommend traveling alone?
Definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
Right. So not in a big cruise of people.
Both. You should do both. I mean, traveling with friends or traveling with groups and big cruise, it's a different experience. But traveling alone is it makes you grow much more than when you.
It makes you more
with
adventurous, and you have to. You don't rely on your friends or who you're with I guess you get caught up in that person or those persons you're with when you're traveling. You don't have much of a unique experience. I guess traveling alone also is it could be interesting if you're going to major cities, for instance, or if you're going to remote locations. If you're traveling alone, what's better?
Both. The experience is different. If you're going to big cities, then you will socialize much more easily if you're alone than if you are with a group or even with 1 or 2 friends, because people will come to you because you're alone. And going to remote areas is also very different when you're alone, because you will be welcome, hosted. People will invite you for meals, even to stay at their place and sleep there. They don't do this if you come with a group or if you come with 2-3 people.
Right. When did you first come to Cambodia?
At that time I was living in Singapore. I came in 1993.
Very risky time here.
Very risky time, very different. I went to Phnom Penh and Siem Reap, and at that time there were curfew at 6 o'clock, and I visited the temple alone. It was very different from now, but I fell in love with the country at that time, and I always thinking and targeting to come back and stay here. It took me a little bit more than what I expected, but I finally did it.
You worked in Singapore. In what was your position in Singapore?
I was in a completely different business. I was working in food packaging.
Okay. And you did that a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
And then you returned to France.
Then I came back. I went to Cambodia at the end, and then I stayed a few weeks there, and then came back to France with a lot of projects for Cambodia. But for family, personal reason, I had to stay, and I thought I would stay a couple of years, but I stayed 20 years.
Was it very difficult leaving Asia at that time? That was when Asia was really growing and exciting place. It was the place to be. So you left a continent that was on the upswing and went back to Europe.
True. It was very difficult to live, but I thought that I will come back quite fast. So I still I was still waiting for.
So what got you? You came back when, and what got you back here?
I came back in November 2014.
Okay. That's when things were completely a metropolitan.
Yes. I came back many times since then, but for business or for just leisure and travel and meet some friends here. But I came back to settle in Cambodia in 2014 for, sad reason actually, but I had my own company in France and I went bankrupt. And I was working with my wife, and we were just both saying, okay, what's next? Now we have nothing left. Maybe it's time to do what we've been dreaming for. We even got married in Cambodia 2 years before moving here. We didn't know we will move there, but it was already our target. So okay, it's time to look for something in Cambodia.
Okay. And you came back and you worked. Well, let me ask when you came back, because you were here in the 93, you said first, right? And you come back in 2014. And what's the stark differences?
Whoa, huge. Well, huge and not so huge. The nice thing that didn't change is the people. And at that time, when I came to Cambodia, when I fell in love with the country, I think that the thing I liked the most were the people, and the people are still the same, even if the country changed a lot. So it's okay.
So let's talk a bit about EXO. Mm-hmm. Amazing story.
Yeah,
I was looking through it last night. It was started in Vietnam, right?
Yeah, started in Vietnam 25 years ago.
1993, I think was when it started. And this was a travel industry starting in Vietnam in 1993, and then just expanding like crazy into these incredible emerging and exotic places. So give us a little background on EXO. 23 offices, 770 full-time staff plus. Offices in Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Indonesia, Thailand, Japan, China, Malaysia, all over the place.
Yeah, nine countries in Asia.
A massive travel conglomerate. Tell us a bit about EXO Travel.
Well, EXO Travel was founded by French people, as you mentioned before, in Vietnam 23 or 24 years ago. And they've been smart enough to be there at the right time and to manage to bring a lot of people to Asia when it was still unknown and very exotic destination. And they also expanded quite fast because they decided to get local partners in every country they settle. And that's also a very smart step. They did it in Cambodia, but they did the same in the other countries.
So every country, they basically get a local partner.
They have a local partner, yeah. So it's these French founders and a local partner. And here in Cambodia, it's Mr. Meng Hieng. He's quite a famous entrepreneur with many different businesses, successful. And I'm quite lucky to work with him.
Right.
Actually.
So why EXO has been so interested in the more exotic places rather than the traditional places?
Well, I think you should ask the founders about this.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
All right, tell us about your products. I mean, it's everybody should visit. That's interested in traveling should visit your site because you have some incredible tours all over. I was looking at them last night. I'm ready to book a few myself, but you have a great website with some incredible tours, which is mostly your products seem to be structured towards a wholesaler, more towards the agents. So
yes,
what's your structure and what are your typical products?
We are mainly B2B. We sell to foreign agents in North America, South America, Europe, and Australia mainly, and we start dealing also with regional Asian countries. We are in experiential tourism. It means that we are looking at having the travelers to experience the country, not just visit, take pictures, and come back.
Right.
So it's a lot about meeting the communities. We have culinary tours, we have architecture tour, we have village tour. The clients can experience the rice paddy and making wine with the community. It's a lot about
like
experience.
Hands-on.
Yeah, hands-on experience.
Right, and it's very expensive. It's all over Southeast Asia, right?
Yep.
Okay, and I mean, what's the uniqueness of having an EXO package?
I think it's the quality of the service and the experience that the travelers will live. We are quite famous for having excellent service.
Right.
Really.
And in Cambodia, is it mostly an inbound market that you're dealing with the people coming in? Because there's a huge growth in the outbound market now.
We do have outbound department, and we start doing this. It's a growing market, actually.
As you can see, travel agencies popping up everywhere now in Cambodia for people, Cambodians wanting to travel, which is a huge increase.
And they do more and more. That's the middle class traveling in Cambodia. So far, it's mainly regional, like weekend break in Bangkok or Kuala Lumpur or Hong Kong.
So where do Cambodians typically go? Because I'm sure a lot of these may be the first experience of travel, right?
Yes.
So what's their first desire to go where?
They like the beaches a lot.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Just go to Scenicville. They're the most beautiful.
I know.
And the islands.
They like the beaches, so they go to the island in Vietnam.
People come here for the beautiful beaches.
Yeah,
here.
I know. And Thailand, Vietnam, Bali.
So it's not the old shopping sort of thing.
And yeah, this was my next thing. And the other thing is shopping. They still go to Bangkok a lot for shopping. Yeah.
Okay, so how fast is that industry growing? That now you're focusing on it. How fast is it growing?
It's not easy for professional because it's mainly self-organized so far. The Cambodian outbound tourism mostly organized by the travelers themselves. They book a hotel, they book a flight online. They don't go through agents.
Right.
Yeah.
Do they come in for advice? Because there's sort of a. Cambodians didn't have that access to a lot of education in the past, and now they do, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
But learning about the world, they sort of say, I want to go to Paris, or I want to go see the Colosseum in Rome. What is? Do they come in and ask you for
advice? Yeah, they do.
And what do you tell
for long haul, we still organize for them. For regional, they do by themselves, but long haul, they use travel agents. What kind of advice do we give?
Yeah.
Well, depends who they are, depends what they want. Traveling is not anymore about I want to visit this country. It's more about I want to experience this kind of way of living, and then we will orient them to one or another country.
Okay, what are some of the more interesting tour packages that you have? Inbound, let's say.
Inbound? I like the culinary tour. Because the food is great in Cambodia.
A lot of people don't know that, but that looked good.
We even have some night street food tour, which is quite a good experience. You spend 3-4 hours at night trying all the street foods.
Could a local person like myself, if I wanted to try that?
Sure,
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, please do.
So I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people interested. So tell us about this tour, this culinary tour. If an expat like me wants to experience it.
We have this in Phnom Penh and we have this in Siem Reap. We usually do this with a Vespa or scooter or motorbike. So you have a driver and you go from one street food to another and try all the different kind of foods. Mainly in the markets, night markets or night stand booths for foods.
Okay. So just let me move on to how has Cambodia developed as a tourist destination? Because you've seen it since the early 90s and now we're in 2016. Still Siem Reap, still Phnom Penh, still a bit Sihanoukville. How's it? I mean, Mandalkiri, Kampot, they're all sort of getting better. But how's it developing as a tourist industry?
It's an amazing country for tourism. You can whatever you want to do, you can do it in Cambodia. You want to go to the beach, you want culture, you want archaeology, you want jungle, you want to meet people. You can do it in Cambodia. There's very few countries in the world where you can do all this, but
it's still pretty reasonably priced, right?
And it's still quite cheap. But 80% of the business is in Siem Reap because of the temple. And then maybe 16% in Phnom Penh and 1% here and there.
Is there anything concrete developing with... I mean, Mandalkiri is an incredible place, for instance.
It is.
Waterfalls, nature. I mean, is there anything concrete developing where that will be a tourist destination?
We need more hotels. That's one of the main problems. Besides Sihanoukville, Phnom Penh, Siem Reap, there's very few hotels in the remote areas. Right. So we cannot bring a lot of tourists.
And traveling there is not easy because we only have 3 airports.
Yes.
Barely.
Yes.
2.5.
Yeah, and the roads are improving. The roads are quite okay now. You can.
People really don't want to go on roads too much when they're coming from other countries, right? They want to land at an airport and get to.
Yeah, but we push them to go by roads. Land traveling is much nicer than even for Phnom Penh, Siem Reap. We try to promote the land transfer.
Right. So if I'm a Cambodian or expat listening now, and I wanted to go to a real popular, interesting destination in Asia, what would you recommend?
In Cambodia?
In Asia.
In Asia.
Going out of Cambodia.
Well, Japan is incredibly growing destination. It's an amazing destination.
Is it reasonably priced?
No, it's very expensive.
Right.
Very expensive. If you want one in the more reasonable price, Laos, of course, is still very authentic, and it's easy, very close to Cambodia, cheap.
It's a lot the same though. Is it similar to Cambodia?
It's similar and different. I think Khmer are different than Laos people, so the people are different. Even if the side is about the same kind of country, the people are very different.
Okay. What are the future plans for EXO? You've been in the helm for 2 years.
We cover a lot of country already, but I know that the group is looking at more. We still have Sri Lanka, India, Philippines that are not covered by EXO, so there's still a lot to do, and also improve what we can do in some countries, especially in Cambodia. The problem in Cambodia is that the average stay is only 5 nights.
Right.
That's the main problem.
So we need to develop much more interesting places to
and
go.
Promote Cambodia as a sole destination country, not a combined country.
So you've had great experience here for 20 years almost, or more than 20 years. What do you love about Cambodia, and what would you like to see improved?
What I love about Cambodia, as I mentioned before, is the people, but I think I also just love the country itself, and it's like for girl, if you can explain why you love, then you don't really love. So I don't have a reasonable explanation of this for. But
what would you like to
country.
see improved?
I like to see the education improving, and that's still the main problem, even if it's improved a lot for the past 20 years. They still do not invest enough in education, and I believe in education. It's the basic, but without education, we won't do anything.
Pierre-André, thank you very much for coming on. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. It
Thank
was
you.
very insightful. Thank you for coming in on Saturday morning, and thanks again to RIEM as well. Before we go off the air, I'd just like to mention one more time. again, Eurochamp Cambodia is holding this tax seminar. Do you like taxes?
Well, I used to be an accountant, so I know about taxes, but I don't like taxes.
It's you experiencing a little bit more stricter enforcement as well?
A little bit more pressure.
Yeah, so there's more pressure. So this is a very topical and timely, I think, seminar by Eurochamp Cambodia. It will be held on the 21st of September, and it will be a tax forum. Kang Vaibol, His Excellency, Delegate of Royal Government in charge of Director of Taxation, Director General Taxation, will open up for us, and we'll have the EU Ambassador, Mr. George Edgar, as well, and then a huge amount of top firms giving presentations and panel discussions. So go on Eurochamp Cambodia's website or their Facebook page and take a look at the agenda and the timing, and we hope to see you there. For now, I sign off. Laurent Noten from Brains is on next week, and a few other guests. So
good friend.
Until then, we'll see you next week.